Welcome back to the Hong Kong Football Club Asian 7 Series, the first leg of 2014. What a glorious day of rugby we've had so far, and it culminates in the last round of the men's competition, starting of course in Pool A with Malaysia, who beat the UAE quite convincingly this morning, 40 points to 0. And also Japan had a frolic against the Shaheen as well, to the tune of 50-0. So two unbeaten teams fighting for ascendancy in this pool. Japan, the favourites of course with their pedigree, but a young team in the competition. So let's see if Malaysia can apply some pressure to them earlier on today. They certainly didn't look fully convincing, the Japanese, in their performance against the UAE. A lot of young players. Referee for this clash, you would have heard his opinions earlier in the afternoon, Toby Lothian, well respected local referee. Latonia takes the ball for Malaysia and runs pretty much across field there in his first run. Batted off a couple of would-be tackles though, and here's a nice little snipe from inside the 22. Beautiful ball inside too to Zulkifli Azmi. There's some lovely linking play here from Malaysia. That's Atu Naisia. Breaks down for Malaysia though. Just checking my numbers here. The Malaysians quite fond of swapping jerseys and numbers during the day's activities. Hey, commentator's curse, but never mind. Well, Malaysia came under a lot of criticism for their performance at the Commonwealth Games. Played very gamefully, but of course quite a few Pacific Islanders involved in Malaysian rugby that give them some real leadership. Perhaps suffered a little bit from some of those players not being available for Commonwealth duties. The Malaysian team sheet, so couple of clarifications needed with numbers. Free kick to Malaysia and they take it quickly. Through Ismail. Oh, another penalty here. So Japan under the cosh in the first minute of this game. There's a Tonia again. Oh, just the dropsies there from Malaysia, sadly. Playing advantage now, and this could go end to end, surely. Japan putting in a huge punt, so advantage over. The Malaysians scurrying back through Zulkifli. And was he held as he got up off on his feet? Referee Lothian happy. In fact, penalises Japan for coming around the side. So what turns into a moment where they're under pressure for Malaysia turns into the ability to relieve that pressure. Do you guys have a Malaysian team list? Do you mind if I borrow it from them? I've got a couple of numbers out of kilter. Yeah, does it have? So play restarts at the 10-metre line. Thanks. Just clearing up that. Oh, you got the same one as me. Okay. Oh no, wait. Atunas is number 3. Yeah, not as original as the one I got on Thursday. What have we got? Oh, is it? That's probably more accurate than the one on Thursday. Up to Nicey, number 3. So Nazaruddin moves to number 14. 15 is Iswan. 15. 7 Zulkifli. 8 Faradzal. 9 Anwaral. 13. 12. Effendi. Where's Effendi? He's number 10. So Lameki takes the ball on attack. Classic jinking and jiving off both feet from Lameki. Good defence there though on Somiyama by Vatimio Rambibi. 13. Oh, you guys are a tough school. Okay. Siddiq Jalil, thank you very much. Defensive scrum here from Malaysia. Free kick for Japan. And well, Malaysia have done very well the first 5 minutes. Oh, yellow card though here. The scrum half throwing the ball away. And so a little bit of indiscipline, maybe the turning point of this game. Sorry about the sun low in the sky here, just making it difficult to see, but that's a number 11 for Japan, who smashes over. It's Tuipa, who has just the body to smash over. A big physical man from Tonga, plays his rugby at Toyota Shockey Shuttles, and he smashes his way over, but the one man down with Faradzal being sent to the sin bin certainly hasn't helped the Malaysian cause. So first score of the game to Japan. Somiyama, who will take the conversion. He's a man who looked promising on last year's series, and that's a beautiful kick from Somiyama. Speaking to Coach Sagawa from Japan earlier on, he really admires his agility and speed. As we just take a look at the replay of Taupa going over for a try. Very hard to stop that close to the line. And Malaysia almost claiming the restart, but a little knock on there from Nazaruddin. Streaming on YouTube for your enjoyment. Hope you are having a good time on this Saturday afternoon. Lovely summery day, perhaps a bit hot for rugby, 32 degrees, but if you're in the shade and having a couple of refreshments, it's certainly been an enjoyable game. Japan yet to really gain any ascendancy over the Malaysian team though, especially at the breakdown, and I'm sure that a lot of their potential opponents for tomorrow will be looking at this with a great deal of interest, as a real heroic piece of play from Iswan there. Coming in and really competing for the ball. Horrible pass from Etonia. Puts pressure on his outsides. Zulkifli to Atunaisia. And that's half time already. So Japan with just one converted try, and Malaysia with an admirable performance in the first half. Japan lead 7-0 at the break.
We now have the schedule for the women's matches tomorrow. Lineups in the score.
A1.
The first weight semi-final at 10:32.
The second of Pool C.
That will be followed at 10:54 by late semi-final 2, Thailand versus the Philippines. There's a mouth-watering first cup semi-final clash at 11:16 when Japan face Hong Kong. And then 11:38 the second cup Cup semi-final. It's China versus Kazakhstan. So there's only one place to be for top rugby action tomorrow right here at Hong Kong Football Club for day 2 of the Asian Sevens. And a few thank yous. Our title sponsor, RS Components, the official partners of our tournament pinnacle, Event Canopies Asia, Seller Mastery Wines, and also Hong Kong Football Club. ARFU associate sponsors, Gilbert Cookery and Safe Hotels. You can never be too safe. And the host union sponsors, HSBC, Carlsberg, Gilbert, Andy, Cookery, Thomas Pink, and Rhino. So it looks like Special Constable Logan is about ready to start the second half. Scores of course, Japan leading Malaysia by 7 points to 0.
So Malaysia with everything to play for here in the second half, only 7 points down. And we'll want to put Japan under some pressure here early on in the second half. Here's the try scorer, Topa. Gets it to the strapping Kato. He was certainly impressive against the UAE earlier on today. Not so effectual in the first 7 minutes of this game. So here's Malaysia's opportunity. A scrum on the 22. So it's Faridzel who's been received a yellow card just before half-time. He'll feed the scrum and obviously try and make amends for his show of pettiness at a scrum penalty. And a very interesting blindside here for him to probe if he chooses. He goes for it too. Around the outside like a cat. Cuts inside, 5 metres out now. Has support from his teammates too. Good work from Malaysia. Oh, but there's just some illegal action at the breakdown there. I thought Murray Lynn did a reasonable job first up. I think it was the second man into the ruck, maybe going off his feet. So that opportunity has been lost for Malaysia. What a tight game this has been. And just a couple of key players for Malaysia missing too. Shahir Rosli, who was at the Commonwealth Games, is missing. He's one of their better players, the chunky back. He plays in the forwards at sevens, but inside centre with great ball skills and touch. Hano lost the ball there at the breakdown, but sadly Zulkifli is adjudged offside. Oh, horrid pass there from Kasagi, but picked up by Topa. Oh, beautiful pop ball too to Lameki, who hasn't been his sparkling self in this tournament so far, but as we've seen from him in past tournaments, has the niggling habit of popping up on day 2 and really messing the opportunities and up of other people's, other teams. Easy kick for Somayama, who's 2 from 2. Somayama playing for the Shiganari Shingoku Energy Company. And gets back to halfway to restart play. Goes for the switch. Sadly, it hasn't gone far enough, and Matsui decides to give up the free kick. Here's Lin. Antonia And a nice inside ball to Rambibi, who was running at pace. Somiyama, though, who was going back, gets lucky with the ball, and Japan on their feet. Malaysia on the ground. There's a chance here if they can spread it wide. Decide to go right through Topa. This is Lameki, and these two Polynesians are teaming up splendidly for Japan. That's twice now where they've thrown the final passes to each other to score tries. This time it's Topa, the second try of the game. Of course, broke the deadlock early just before half-time. You can't underestimate how hot it is out there for these players. 32 degrees, and after this morning's rain, there's a lot of moisture coming up through the artificial pitch too, so you're getting it from above and below. Somiyama kicks 3 from 3. Dependable option in the absence of Katsuyuki Sakai, their captain, who's playing top league rugby this weekend. The first weekend of top league rugby in Japan. A great competition, top league rugby, and has to be said, pretty much underappreciated globally. Love to be able to see some of the top league matchups, some brilliant internationals plying their trade. And we've just seen too that the influx of players from Japan, professional players coming back like Jerome Kaino, how competitive it is now. Oh, Zulkifli losing control of the ball and gifting a try. So Somiyama, he set his kicking boots on and then gleefully accepts the charity from Zulkifli to come up with a try as well. One of those moments as an outside back where you just wish the earth would swallow you up there. Zulkifli bouncing the ball basketball style back to Somiyama. Would have made the highlight reel on an NBA game. That sort of skill, but not on the rugby paddock. So Japan well in charge of this game now from a 7-point deficit at half-time. They've pushed it out to 28-0, so certainly stepping the intensity up as Somiyama, who really did look full of potential last year in the series, is fulfilling that potential today. One of their better players, Somiyama. And the full-time hooter is gone. So Malaysia with a chance to get the final points on the board here in this game, and loads of players outside, but again just a sloppy pass, and Japan capitalise on that error. Beautiful ball off the ground by Kato. Ito's looking for it, but it's not coming out of there. Malaysia tying the ball up, and Lothian pointing the mark infield towards the touchline, sorry. They're just going to kick this out by the looks. In their day of fun there and then. Well, not completely convincing from Japan on day one. They had a 50-0 victory over UAE, and then the final scoreline 28-0. I guess on the bright side, they haven't conceded a try, but I just think that Coach Segar will be disappointed with the lack of fluidity in their performance, but still unbeaten, and they'll go on to play the second place team in Pool B first thing tomorrow morning. In fact, they will play the unbeaten team in Pool C, which may be China. So that will be an interesting matchup too.